A few weeks ago, Marvel put out this show called Werewolf by Night. I didn't watch it because I'm just kind of over a lot of this mediocre Marvel stuff, though I hear people liked this show, to be fair. So I'm not judging it because I haven't watched it. And for the most part, I actually hear that it's a decent show, for whatever that's worth. But it doesn't matter. When you put out garbage after garbage, notably lately She-Hulk, which was a disastrous show, got a lot of criticism, and it was really funny to watch that because critics acted like that was some of the best television ever made. And the audiences, they didn't really seem to agree with that. And because of that, it failed to make the Nielsen top 10 charts until lately. I'm going to talk about that. But the reason I'm talking about this is because, well, Werewolf by Night did not make the top 10 streaming charts. In fact, it looks like it was a disaster and a failure, which there's one bad thing about this, and that's that this might discourage Marvel from making more kind of weird niche little things like Werewolf by Night, but I don't know, maybe this is the She-Hulk effect. You put out something that's utter trash, and what happens? Well, you have shows like Werewolf by Night that don't do well at all in the ratings. So Star Wars has got a similar problem right now with Andor. Actually, Andor is a great show. I heard from a few people it's actually a really good show. I haven't watched Andor. I don't want to watch Andor. Why? Because Disney has done nothing but disappoint me for years. They've outright told me they don't want me around. The executives at Lucasfilm run around trashing fans. Just giving up. You would really need to do something special to get me to come back to Star Wars at this point. I just enjoy laughing at Star Wars because if you think Andor's bad, wait till that Acolytes show comes out. That show's going to be even worse on the ratings board than Andor is because who wants to watch that show? That show's coming out of the High Republic. Andor, at least, has the Empire. I guess Darth Vader's going to be in it. It has ties to Rogue One. So there's still a little bit of legacy there in that show. But with the Acolyte, you're not going to have any of that. And that's going to really hurt that show. That's going to be a good laugh. I'm really looking forward to the Acolyte and watching its failure. But anyway, let's take a look at what's going on with Werewolf by Night. Kevin Feige and Marvel have another bomb on their hands on Disney Plus with the Werewolf by Night special, which is actually more like Elsa Bloodstone show than anything else. Nielsen released its ratings for the week of October 3rd through 9th, where Werewolf by Night, which was released on October 7th, is nowhere to be found. So that means the special didn't garnish enough views for 3 days to make the Nielsen top originals list. This is good to point out here. The overall, She-Hulk doesn't make that. It's just making originals. That's the list that it's making. I think it's important to point that out. Oh, Rings of Power is on there. So that means the special didn't garnish enough views for the 3 days. And that's, in my opinion, from Marvel property, pretty damn pathetic. Really pathetic, actually. That's very, very sad. And it makes me wonder, what is the next original Marvel thing going to look like? You release something without any of the characters. And we've seen what's happened, like Miss Marvel. That's a new character that a lot of people don't know. That show didn't make the top 10. And now you have this show not making the top 10. This is bad. And then they talk about how Andor and She-Hulk finally make the top 10 list, but point out that's because there's 8 episodes with a bunch of minutes. So that's what kind of dragged it on there. But, you know, numbers don't lie. There's been a lot of failure for Marvel lately. Maybe that'll all bounce back. I don't know. But the MCU is going down a pretty bad direction. Now, this will probably bounce back a little bit with Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. I expect that movie to be a massive hit. I'm not jumping on like this is going to be a failure train. I think it's going to sell a lot of tickets. I wonder, though, if it will even get anywhere near the original. The original was a pretty big power hitter when it came to the box office. And I feel like this one's not going to get close to that, but I don't think that it's going to be a failure. I do think that it's got some big shoes to fill, and I wonder about the future of that character without Chadwick Boseman playing him. We'll see. Let's go back to another character that I think we can all agree is a piece of shit, and that's Captain Marvel. This must be from a more recent Marvel comic, but it's just so funny that the writers are still incapable of making this character likable. So something is happening with the Avengers. They've been asked to go in and help with something in Wisconsin, and Miss Marvel's like, who cares about Wisconsin? What do they have there? Cheese? Basically, F all those people, let them die. None, no casualties. But in retaliation for the attack, the assailants have cut off all internet communications in the entire state of Wisconsin. And then it switches to Captain America. And she says, Wisconsin. And the concern is what? There will be a crippling shortage of cheese. And then Captain America has to explain why we can't let these people get screwed over. Like, she's just not... It's so funny that they fail so hard and don't even understand that just, once again, making people not like this character. The push to make Carol Danvers popular is hilarious to me because they keep trying her comics. They constantly have to reboot them. They reboot them all the time. Oh, well, we're at issue 20 now and no one's buying it. We'll just reboot to another number 1. And then people will buy issues 1 through 6. And then it'll fall off a cliff again. And then they'll just reboot it again and again and again and again and again and again to keep those numbers up. It's so funny that scam works. It does. It works all the time. It's worked for decades. Oh, I'll just come out with a new number 1. That'll revitalize the sales. Like people run in and buy, this number 1's for sure going to be worth thousands of dollars. And like it's worth $1 by the time you walk out of the comic book shop and it'll never see the value of $4 again. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about all of this. I'd like to hear from you. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Check out my Rumble and my locals, and I will see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my locals.